Congratulations for those of you wondering whether or not you were going to have to break the bank when it comes to the Sunday ticket package from YouTube TV. They have just announced their pricing for it. So YouTube has announced that the current YouTube TV members can add Sunday ticket at a pre-sale full season price of $249 through June 6th, and that is a $100 savings on the retail cost. So it looks like it's going to cost you anywhere between $300 to $400 to watch all your NFL action next year. So everybody get ready to start putting some money aside if you want to get the Sunday ticket from DirecTV that's no longer existing and now will be on YouTube. So
listen. Brother, it's getting carried away right now in life. And what I mean by that is it used to be able to justify buying something like that. Like when I first moved here, right? I'm coming from Detroit, and I want to watch the Lions. And I'm like, baby, listen, hear me out. I know I don't even have a job in L.A. yet, but hear me out. It is imperative in which I watch the Lions because when I do get a job, I'm like trying to sell it, right? And you're like, all right, you know what? He doesn't have a lot of things. Let this be his thing. But right now, with inflation, shrinkflation, and all the other Asians, it's getting harder and harder to look at, hey, baby, look, okay, hear me out. If I get to watch the game, that's peace, and I'm happy that if I'm happy, you happy, we happy. Like, it's getting crazy right now. And then to justify, $250, it's like, all right now, because the last time I checked, gas prices are not going down. The interest rate is going up.
And that's $250 if you're, if you want to order it ahead of time before June 6th June 6th is the date. And I mean, a lot of people are going to be paying closer to $400 if they want to get Red Zone and all the other things that come along with it. And here's why it's interesting that you saw this come out where owners approved this a couple of weeks ago, and it kind of flew under the radar where they said, oh, well, we're going to allow brick and mortar sports books at our stadiums. It's because people are looking around and they're like doing exactly what you're doing. They're evaluating, where do I want to put my cost? Where do I want to spend my money? And they're going, okay, do I really want to go to an actual game, or I'd rather stay home? And if I'm paying $400 to watch all these games, I'm not going anywhere on a Sunday. I'm staying my ass home. I'm going to cook. I'm going to do what I need to do, and I'm going to watch my football and let that be, to your point, your thing. They're not going to show up to these stadiums anymore. They're not going to pay these prices to go sit, wait to use the bathroom, pay $20 for a beer, $20 for all this stuff. If you realize, look, yeah, it's going to cost me $400, but I don't have to go to these venues and sit in traffic. You and I were just talking about the traffic here in L.A. and how brutal it is even right now at a little after 7 in the morning. I just think people are going to look at this and they're going to pay these prices because this is kind of around what DirecTV's Red Zone and Sunday ticket package was the past several years. And they realize it's a lot more affordable than having to go to some of these venues and some of these games. You know what
always shocks me? You just mentioned, the nacho, the beer, like nothing tops parking for me. Like, I'll die. Like,
it's crazy.
May he rest in peace. Any last words? I still don't understand parking. And then beep, and I'm dead. Because I have no other place to park. Like, this is where, like, when you go to the grocery store, they don't charge you, right? You walk, you park, you go in there. And when you go to a school, they don't say, hey, man, I know this is where you had to be, but I got to charge you $7 for that park. Like, you go to these places, I parked to come into this venue, this place, this whatever it may be. It always blows me away. And fine, okay, you got to charge me because it is land, and it's usually, okay, I get it. And especially if you're in, like, Inglewood right now, it's SoFi Stadium where Inglewood is blowing up like crazy.
Yeah.
Part of it is because you're here, NFL. I'm always blown away at how much parking is. Like, you kind of forget. And I'm not going to lie. I've been spoiled for a very long time in my life now because we work in sports. So I get, I've been spoiled in that regard of like tickets and parking kind of taken care of, that whenever I forget, I'm like, oh, shoot, let me go to this game. Whatever. Excuse me? $75 to park, $50 to park, $100 to park? To park? I'm like, oh, that's right. It comes with a free nacho and a beer. Like, nah. Oh, that's my baby. She loves popcorn. It comes with free popcorn. No. Do I get my own valet guy? No. This is just regular old, you still got to walk 175 yards parking?
Yeah. It's
crazy.
It's insane, man. I was talking with somebody here at Fox Sports Radio, and they were telling me they were going to go to a Rams preseason game at SoFi. And I forget who the Rams are playing, but it was just a preseason game they were going to go. It's August. There's nothing else going on. It's kind of the dead time in baseball. There's no NBA, all that. It was like over $100 to park.
No, it's insane.
For a preseason game.
Yep. Oh, don't think it. I'm glad you said the preseason game. The reason why the moment where I lost my mind is when the Rams got here. They were still playing the Coliseum. It was against the Cowboys. I remember this. And I remember how I got the tickets. I was fortunate. I was, all right, great. Wife want to go. Let's get out. It was Sunday afternoon, beautiful weather. Why not? And that was, to your point, that was a day I was like, okay, this is getting ridiculous. I'm at the Coliseum. This is a college stadium.
You're not even anywhere nearby. Like, how long's the walk to pay $100 to watch?
Exactly. And I'm like, wait. How much? I literally looked at the lady. I'll never forget. I'm like, how much? And she kind of looked at me like, hey, bro, I just needed a job. Like, I didn't make these prices. Your girl just needed a job. I'm just working on the weekends, get a little extra. My son got a little thing I need to pay for. And I just remember being blown away. And I was thought about it. We're fortunate. We're doing all right in life. And I'm just like, what hardworking person can afford this $100, tickets for the fam, food for the fam? The kid might want their favorite player's shirt, jersey, hoodie. I'm like, this is literally like, well, we're going. Okay, I was gonna say Disneyland. Disneyland has lost their mind too, but it's like a family trip. Like, this is an actual family trip. Going to a game. So you're right. I mean, I guess if you're going to spend the $400, we get to watch them every game. We get to watch whether on the road, doesn't matter. We get to do our own guacamole. I love the way she puts a little cumin, a little extra lemon juice in the guacamole. We'll just be home because it's getting crazy to go to a game, and it might end up being where it's so corporate. You lose the average person, and it comes corporations buying up a bunch of tickets and sending clients and whatnot.
And look, I don't know if you're like me. I like to go to games now. If I go to games, I've done the whole media thing. But if I'm not working, I kind of like going as a fan. I want to go and just enjoy the game. I want to be able to have a beer and not be judged by some blowhard who's in the media center who goes, oh, well, how could you be having a drink right now? It's like, dude, you got a press conference to go to. I don't. I'm just using my media credential.
Right.
So you go figure out whatever your issue is with yourself. But so if I go to a game, I want to go as a fan. But if you just do the math on this, all right, so say parking, we'll split the difference. If it's not 50 and it's not 100, we'll say it's 75. If you do a ticket each is $100. If you want to get food and a couple of drinks, it's probably another $50 each. I mean, we're looking at what, $700 for a family of four to go to a game, and you're telling me I can get an entire season of NFL games for $400? I'm telling you, man, like, these prices are steep, but in comparison to what is being what these stadiums are putting together and the amount of money it costs to go to these games, I can understand why people aren't showing up.
And to be honest with you, football specifically, I prefer at home. Like, just
totally agree.
They literally make the field, because our TVs now, they're not squares like back in the day, they're rectangles. It fits the field.
Totally agree.
It fits the field. As you mentioned, huge lines between going to the restroom or food. The delays, right? Like you forget how big the delays are because you're entertained with commercials. You're entertained with your phone. You're entertained with, talking to your kids or on your, oh, did you see that play on the phone with your buddy? When you're watching a game at home. When you're there, you forget how many delays there are. Now, if you're not overly invested, I mean, if you're like a crazy diehard and you're like, I've never missed since my dad took me when I was 8. Okay, I get it. It's a thing that you do. But, like, just going to a game, like, hey, man, you want to go to Rams game? Oh, I'll go to Rams game. It's actually much more fun on television.
Agreed.
At home,
totally
I should
agree.
say, or with your buddy or with a couple buddies to watch the game.
I enjoy product. The at-home product.
That's
has changed
the point.
The game.
It looks better. It sounds better. You get the analysis. You got your own food. They have created it to be the perfect at-home thing.
It's fantastic. And that's why. Look, and I don't know if you're like me. Like, it's great going to these big venues. Like, SoFi is fantastic. They just had WrestleMania there a couple of weeks ago. I had a buddy who went to WrestleMania. He told me a can of beer was $19. I mean, it's insane. The parking is $80 to $100, and yet they still had 160+ thousand people go for a 2-day WrestleMania. So you had 80,000 one day, 81 and change the next day. That's not a bad weekend for SoFi Stadium. Like that and also the places around the stadium.
Well, everybody's winning.
Listen, the LA street dogs that they're throwing out outside the stadium when you walk away. So SoFi is fantastic. I had a chance to go there for the national championship game. All of it is awesome. And these big venues are cool. There's something about an intimate setting at a game. And I think we're going to get to the point to where teams are going to build stadiums with less seating capacity, especially if you're a place that isn't going to have concerts and Super Bowls and all that, because like if you go to, have you ever been out here? Is it Dignity Health Center? It used to be the StubHub Center.
So, yeah.
All right.
Yep.
So I went and watched a bunch of boxing events out there in Carson, California. So for those of you listening nationally, where the Chargers played for a short time, where they were always out attendanced by every visiting team that would ever come here, the soccer stadium that was the LA Galaxy, there's a little venue, and it was called the tennis courts because the Williams sisters were going to put on tennis events there, and it just never came to fruition. So what they did is they started putting on boxing events. It's, I think, maybe 8,000 seats, not a bad seat in the entire place. They just had another boxing event, and you ask anybody who covers boxing or mixed martial arts, and they'll say, best venue we go to every year because it's intimate, and there's something about being able to see everything. Well, now you got it at home. To your point, like it fits the screen. Everything is presented to you in a perfect form. Like if you want to bounce around, if you've got a fantasy team and you want to see what's happening with a fantasy player, you can go to that actual game. You can do the game mix formerly on DirecTV. So I look at it and I go, yeah, this is $400 YouTube is going to be charging people in some places if you want to get all of it. But in comparison to just going to one game and the traffic and just the hassle to get in and out, and then you see all these brawls at games.
You just took what I was going to say.
What are we doing?
Dude, I have finally went to a game. It was, and there's somebody who keeps, Joe, I keep saying I'm not a Lions fan. I went to the Rams-Lions game a couple years ago. I was there. Yeah, where the Lions had a chance to win and
that's right.
do an interception.
I called that interception, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, the Jared Goff ball.
You could have called me and told me not to come. You want to make calls.
I was like, please don't do like Stafford and throw an interception, and bam.
He's back.
So I'm there with my boy. Shout out to Vic. We're hanging out, and just literally right before the interception, and I'm sitting there. I'm like, something's off in the universe. I said, wait. I know what it is. I haven't seen a fight yet. I've never gone to an NFL game and not seen a fight. And I literally mean that. So we're sitting there. I'm like, Vic, like, bro, we didn't see a fight. Guess what's about to happen? The row where my feet are. This woman gets into it with this guy, and then her man is looking at her like, I can't believe you. Now I got to stand up for you. I don't want to fight it. So now he's got to jump up. Hey, man, hey. And this other guy, he's super drunk. He's been annoying her all night. And so and next thing I know, now, the one dude got up. When I tell you he was about that life, we all needed him in our corner. Whenever you're going out, you needed him. He had on a jersey. I think he had on he had on the jersey, and I think he put another name on it. It was a street name. You could tell.
Was it a Lions or a Rams jersey?
It was a Rams jersey, and it said it wasn't a player.
Okay.
It was like whatever his street name is. He was like, yeah, take off Stafford and put on this name.
So
and
not like a Jim Everett or anything like that.
No. Okay. This was like slang name.
Okay.
And he got up, and I was like, okay, yeah, it's about to go down. And somehow, right as the dude was like, no, you don't want it, and like was about to swing, someone grabbed, and then I was like, oh my God, they just broke my streak. I was almost mad. I was like, I want to keep the streak going. This is like Mikal Bridges the other day playing 7 seconds in the game.
I'm just going to be honest with you, though. I wanted to fight that night because in that stadium, they do that, whose house? They just kept doing it over and over. And all of us, and we showed up to that. The Lions was there.
Oh, for sure.
And we wanted to walk out with that, whose house? We was ready for the smoke.
Yeah, but
all right, I want you to be honest.
I don't understand how you thought you would have that opportunity. You said you're a Lions fan. You should have known.
How many Lions Jared Goff jerseys did you see? Let's be honest. Or did you see any Lions Stafford jerseys?
I was impressed.
Because Stafford didn't play that game, did he? Did Stafford play that game?
Yes, he did. And he had a great game.
All right.
He did.
And they were there. The Lions were in the building that day.
Well, but listen, it was the first time in history where a team was going to the Super Bowl and another entire city had the Detroit Rams. There was literally do you remember that? There were literally I have a very good friend who sent me a picture of him like, hey, smiling with a Detroit Rams shirt on. And I saw the memes, and I thought the memes were hilarious, and I saw Twitter kind of blowing up with it. And then I thought, and then when I started to see actual real life human beings that I know wear them, this was because you had Matthew Stafford in the Super Bowl. In the Super Bowl halftime performance, you had Eminem. And so everybody was like, this is the Detroit Super Bowl. This is the closest we'll ever get. So everyone started. I'll show you during the break here. They had the Detroit Rams shirt, and the people legitimately were buying. This was like a real thing.
I mean, let me tell you something, though. Joel Elliott, who is, he gets all neurotic when it comes to Lions conversation. He can't stand the fact that the Lions are favored to win the division now. Like, for some, like you want to swim in the garbage that is the reputation of the Lions.
Comfortable.
And I mean, come on, you got to get uncomfortable.
My thing is, we don't want to talk about it, Knox. It may exist. We just don't want to talk about it.
But see, if you don't want to talk about it, then you're not built like that. Right?
Come on, you're not going to jinx it, Joel. I mean, you got to wear this. I mean, they're the favorite. I'm telling you. Like, Aaron Rodgers is gone. You guys sent him packing. I mean, who knows whether or not that deal's actually going to get done. By the way, if there was going to be a team that was going to screw up that deal, it would be the Jets.
Right,
so
the Jets and the Lions looking at each other like that Spider-Man meme.
It's like,
hey, you, me, I know you, you're me.
Like,
yeah.
How can we screw this up? But, there is, for those of you that don't want to go to games and have your streak ruined, like Kelvin, who just had to sit there and
wanted
watch,
one point. I don't want to brawl. Just one little. Like, all right, cool, check. Got the streak continues.
Just one crack. And
yeah, just one Rudy Gobert. Jonas, all I wanted was one Rudy Gobert punch in the shoulder,
even to the solar plexus.
Yeah, well, that was kind of, dude. Would you rather get punch or punch in the shoulder? Like if you're gonna fight me, then don't the last second. I really don't want to fight you, but I want to be tough.
And plus, we were talking about this earlier. I mean, if you're Rudy Gobert, you got the body frame to be a really good Muay Thai fighter. He's got the long legs. He's light on the front foot. Point. And then he just throws that punch, and then he gets asked to leave, and he's got to apologize on Twitter. And now he's going to miss a game against the Lakers tonight.
Rudy has to have some Rudy time. Rudy has to have just what's going on, bro?
Yeah.
We all have it. Listen, if you live long enough, you're gonna have a couple moments in life where you gotta look yourself in the mirror and be like, "What's up, bro?" And Rudy needs some Rudy time. I'm laughing and spitting, coughing over phones with the COVID. None of us knew the severity of it, so you want to give him the pass. Then Donovan Mitchell's, I told you it wasn't just that. I just didn't like him, and kind of similar to Russell Wilson, where guys are like, he really ain't that guy like that.
And by the way, Donovan Mitchell and the Cavs, they're fun. That's a fun
team.
The
Eastern Conference has the teams for the first time in 20 years.
Eastern Conference is going to be dynamite all the way through.
Yeah, I love that. Cavs teams is fun, man. Yeah. Garland and Mitchell and Mobley. Shout out to him, went to USC out here.
Because Donovan Mitchell's one of those guys to where, there's a handful of guys in the NBA where if I said to you, hey, so-and-so scored 60 points
he's in that list.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure. He's on that list.
You would go, oh, it makes sense. Yep. Yeah, I get it. That makes sense.
He might be the most underrated.
Yeah.
Or maybe understated. I don't think anybody, everybody knows how good he is, but we don't talk about him enough. Maybe that's a better way of phrasing it.
Because he played in Utah, now he's in Cleveland.
That'll do it.
So, there's not a lot of notoriety.
There's a documentary waiting to happen. Brothers in Utah.
Oh, yeah?
Because, what was it like being a brother in Utah? Man, I'm going to work on that.
Yeah.
Strike that.
Yeah,
I said,
call Danny Ainge and see his thoughts on that if he wants to.
Danny, how many brothers were in there? What was that like?
Hey, Danny, why did you bring in Kelly Olynyk?
Man,
there's.
What if I told you?
It's a 30 for 30 for sure.